What is up, everyone? This is Silent Night 1214, and for my first review, I will be doing Batman Arkham City for the PS3, 360, and PC. Now, to be honest, I never was a fan of the DC universe. I grew up with Marvel, with the Spider-Mans, the X-Men, the Hulk, and all of those. Because for some reason I felt like DC, their characters were just a bunch of people with superpowers. And then I grew up watching the Batman animated series, and to be honest, after playing through Arkham Asylum and Arkham City, I can truly say I'm becoming more inclined to dig deeper into that DC universe, which is very awesome. Because at the time there were only 2 or 3 people I liked in DC, and that was Deathstroke and the Teen Titans. But we'll get into that later on. The plot for this story. The plot of Arkham City takes place 1 year after Arkham Asylum, where all of the criminals and villains and super criminals have been moved to one central location, which is being called Arkham City. As the story begins, you have Bruce Wayne being tortured and captured by the main antagonist of the story, known only as Hugo Strange. During Bruce Wayne's capture, he is told that Hugo knows that he is Batman, and that he is beginning a movement called Protocol 10. As the story develops, Batman's mission is to find out what Protocol 10 is and to stop it. Now, as far as the story goes, that's all I'm going to say to avoid spoilers of any kind. On to the combat. The combat of this game was very fun, very fluid, and a joy to play. Your same buttons are there. You have one for the punch, one for the counter, one for the stun, and then you have different button combinations to use, like the special combo takedowns, the batarang takedowns, and different things. But with the inclusion of a few tweaks, it's made the combat even more enjoyable and more fun to play, such as the quick moves with the quick batarang, the quick explosive gel, the quick bat claw. All the different bat gadgets that Batman has in his arsenal are being used more and at a greater level. Not only that, but the combat controls seem a lot smoother. Seems like they actually took a little more time and made it fun and enjoyable to do the combat. Because in the first Arkham Asylum, it felt like it was a little too much. Felt like there were some issues here and there, but at the end of the day, they did an excellent job with the combat, and it felt flawless in a lot of different ways. Not only that, but not only were your original upgrades included, you also got a set of new ones, such as the free flow focus, which enhanced your abilities, your reaction time, critical takedowns, which could be simple takedowns used in one button commands, disarms, which were amazingly used in this game. On to the visuals. The visuals of this game are without a doubt some of the best I've seen in a long time. The visuals were just beautiful. From the landscapes to the buildings to the characters themselves. It seems like every detail was put into work at Rocksteady Studios, as well as Warner Brothers. They paid close attention not only to the movie franchises, but also the franchise of the animated series, as each character has some representation of that character, whether it's their emotions, their situations, their purpose of going up against Batman. Everyone has something that is represented, and I love it. Not only do you have the visuals, but you have the voice acting and the sound to follow right behind it, with great voice acting by, of course, the great Kevin Conroy. And as one reviewer said, it would be illegal for someone else to do the voice of Batman, especially in this game series, because he has done such an excellent job. And then you have Mark Hamill, who, of course, does an exquisite job as the maniacal, insane, and hilarious Joker. He pulls off a great performance, which was almost the performance level of an actual film. And to be honest, if Oscars could be handed out, Batman, Mark Hamill, and Kevin Conroy would definitely be getting it as the best voice actor in a video game series and best co-actor in a video game series, hands down. But not only do the voices add, it's also the music, from the orchestral pieces to the simple sound effects of your batarang hitting someone in the face, or you can someone in the face as you end a combo, or even the bashing through the walls, the wind as it blows, the storms the lightning, all the different sounds that add to this game. There were even times when I was playing the game that I forgot it was just a video game, simply because the sound was so amazing. Coming from the orchestra, whether it was the tension that was added to the strings as situations got tense, or the sounds of the vocals coming from the orchestra as it would go higher and higher and then just drop. Different things. It just made you feel like you were playing. It was like The Dark Knight or Batman Begins, or even the Tim Burton Batman films, and that was amazing. Now on to the extras. The extras of this game are many. First, within the game, you have your great Riddler challenges, your Riddler trophies, your riddles for that matter. Searching throughout the city, you have trophies. Some were simple to get, others actually involved some thought, which I really enjoyed. It felt nice to use my brain in certain situations. You also had your side missions, which, to be honest, felt like mini episodes throughout this game. It felt like you had these situations going, but you also had the main story around you, and it just felt so good to be able to go and hunt after Deadshot, or use your detective skills to find this person and that person. And it just felt amazing to go throughout the game feeling like you were Batman, which I felt really was missing from Arkham Asylum. Next, for the outer, not only after being inside the game, being inside the world for 12 to 20 hours, you can step back for a minute and enjoy the challenge maps. You've got the campaign mode, where you have a mixture of the challenge maps and the Predator missions, which are all fun to play. Let's not forget enjoying them with the DLC that has recently been released with Robin, and also my favorite, Nightwing, as well as Catwoman. But to be honest, I felt like while I enjoy playing Catwoman during the story, I would have been nice to have played with other characters within the story. Playing with Robin, no, I'm not saying, he had to be in Arkham City, but it would have been nice when he went to the hospital. What challenges did he encounter when he went to the hospital? Or Nightwing, let's have the story transition to in Wayne Manor, or in some of the other areas he's in during the maps, to kind of add more to this already awesome story. But once again, all in all, it was fun, and it was very, very enjoyable. Another thing that's worth looking into especially is the Arkham City stories, which are unlocked as you play through the game, and also as you unlock Riddler riddles as well as trophies. These stories, to be honest, add so much content to the game, which I really hope they take advantage of, because seeing all the characters, seeing all the people, that villains and their stories and their backgrounds, you got a bigger sense and a better idea of why these characters were feuding, why these characters were up against each other. You had a feeling, you had an understanding for these villains, and it was just a treat. It was just very, very enjoyable. And to be honest, some of these stories could also be used in later episodes, which I would really love to see. I mean, let's not stop with just downloadable characters. Bring in some episodes where there's actual vocals between Nightwing and Batman, or there's vocals between Robin and Batman, or where there's just different villains introduced. I'd love to see, Scarecrow. I'd love to see some more of Deadshot, Black Mask, Calendar Man. I mean, there's so many things they could do into this story. It would just be a great thing to see. Now, on to my negative points. First, I do feel that not necessarily Warner Brothers, but Rocksteady, I feel like they pushed the T rating a little too far. While I did enjoy the dialogue that went throughout the game, I felt that some of it was a little unnecessary. I didn't want to hear what this criminal was going to do to Catwoman, or even Ivy, or any other female characters that are introduced. I felt like the language barrier, they didn't go too far, but I feel like there were some things that could have been left out. But all in all, it didn't take away from the experience. Number two, I feel like there were some points, if you